The Houston Texans travel to Foxborough this week to take on the New England Patriots in the divisional round of the playoffs. New England is currently installed as a 9.5-point favorite on BETDAQ, 48 the total in this game. These two teams played not too long ago, December 10th in New England, and it was ugly. Non-competitive, as a matter of fact. Patriots winning 42-14. And I think a lot of people think, well, what's really changed since then? Why should we expect anything different in this game? After all, since losing to New England, the Houston Texans lost 2 out of their last 3 games in the regular season, blowing home field advantage. Keep in mind, the Texans were 11-1 and had a 2-game lead in the race for home field advantage throughout the AFC through 12 games. But they lost 3 out of the last 4, so not only did they lose home field advantage, they gave up their first round bye in the playoffs they had to play last week. They were able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 19-13, but even in that game, Houston's offensive problems continued. Really, the Houston Texans defense, even though the secondary was exposed a little bit over the second half of the season, but it's been the offense that has just totally disappeared. Through the first half of the season, this was a top 5 offense led by their rushing attack. Arian Foster, one of the best running backs in the league, but Matt Schaub was playing good football as well, and the offense has just totally regressed. They have failed to score 20 points in 4 out of their last 5 games. But they got back last week to what they do best, which is running the ball behind Arian Foster. Foster, 32 carries for 140 yards last week against a stout Bengals defense. New England, even though they're better in the front 7 than they are in the secondary, they're vulnerable on defense. I mean, the Patriots, 25th in the league in total defense, 29th against the pass. And, even though Houston has been playing pretty well on defense this season, they played very well last week, Houston is not going to shut down or shut out this New England Patriots offense. It's just not going to happen. New England has the best offense in the NFL by any measure. They're number 1 in total yards per game, number 1 in points per game. They're averaging 35 points per game. So if the Texans are going to win this game or even be competitive in this game, they're going to have to do it on offense. Their offense is going to have to wake up. Specifically, Matt Schaub is going to have to do it. This is a huge game for Matt Schaub's career, to me. I mean, could be a career-defining game here. Schaub thought of, for most of the last couple of years, I think he's been thought of as a solidly above-average guy. But over the last month, a lot of people have been pointing the fingers at him, saying maybe he's the problem on this Texans team. And quite frankly, rightfully so. He just hasn't been very good over the last month, including in the game against New England on December 10th. And Matt Schaub has an opportunity in this game. He's surrounded by some pieces. He has an elite wide receiver in Andre Johnson. He has an elite running game, an elite running back in Arian Foster to take some pressure off of him. He's got a good defense to support him, and he's facing a bad secondary. Once again, New England 29th in the NFL in pass defense. So Schaub is going to have an opportunity in this game, and if the Texans are going to have any chance, Schaub has got to walk through that door, and he's got to be really good. And I have some faith in Matt Schaub. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't think he's the problem in Houston. Now, is he on Tom Brady's level? Of course not. Only 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL are. But I expect Matt Schaub to have a good game here. And even though Houston has been a popular public bet this week, and I understand certainly why people like the Patriots in this game, I have a lean towards... did I say Houston's been a popular public bet? I meant New England has been a popular public bet. Maybe that's what I did say. But I have a lean towards the Houston Texans here and the points. And I liked all 4 favorites last week. It just so happened it worked out that way. And out of the 4 games this week, I like the favorites in the other 3 games. But this game here, I believe it's too many points. I think it's going to work to Houston's advantage, the fact that they were blown out the last game. You've already heard several of the Texans players this week talk about how they felt disrespected by media members and other people talking about the Texans as if they had no chance. And keep in mind, this is not some sort of bad team that just backed into the playoffs. For most of the season, Houston looked like the very best team in the NFL, 11-1 through 12 games. So greatness is not that far off for this team. And if they can do what they did last week, feed Arian Foster the ball, if he can gain 140 yards on 32 carries again, and they can eat up some clock, keep Tom Brady and that offense on the sideline, they're going to have a chance to keep this one close, especially if Matt Schaub can make some plays, and I think he can. As we said, this is a big, big game for Matt Schaub's career, and I think he's going to play a good game. Now, I think New England's probably going to win the game, but they're just a little overvalued here as a 9.5-point favorite. And New England being overvalued in the playoffs is nothing new. The Patriots only 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 playoff games. That might surprise you, but it's a fact. Once again this week, I think they're favored by too many. I think they'll probably win the game, but I like the Houston Texans and the points here.